Welcome to the presentation of the Picturepark Kentico connector. This video is meant to give you an insight about the functionalities of the connector, which was built to provide additional digital asset management functionality to Kentico users. So as you can see, this is now an example website of Kentico. I'm logged in Kentico as an administrator. I can now go in here, click on an area, and if I would like to edit that area, I can do multiple scenarios. One scenario, I could just insert media, like images, for example, from the media libraries from Kentico. And there's one functionality in the background. We can completely map libraries when we set up the connector with Kentico libraries. So all these images plus the metadata plus the previews are coming out of the digital asset management system, out of Picturepark. So I could just place one of the images here, like a normal method within Kentico. On the other hand, I could also go up here and to place insert widget. Let's go up here, and then you will see in here a Picturepark widget. If I go up here, I can have two options. I can now create a Picturepark link. That means, for example, if I would like to insert a PDF link, for example, or a download link to a video, or I can just place from Picturepark. Let's do that. So when placing from Picturepark, I can now decide if I would like to embed an element from Picturepark from the digital asset management system, or I would like to download it into a default library of Kentico. Let's do that. As soon as I hit that button, the so-called Picturepark Asset Connector will open up. We're using the same one for the SharePoint connector or for other CMS. And what I can now do, I can simply search for an asset. Let's go for example one page further. You can search up here in the quick search. You can just go through the taxonomy, but I can also go up here, for example, for one of the images of the Kentico connection. Let's say I want to just, let's say, crop the file. I don't want to insert the original. I can just go up here and say crop mode. Let's say fixed ratio and size. Just say 600 times 300, as we did already in other videos. Just take that part here and click on crop. As next step, I just hit the import now button. I could now specify a resolution. Of course, I can also save some presets in here. So that means if I need to do that quite often, I can just save a preset and call that up anytime later on. Click on OK. And as a next step, it will now crop the file and insert it directly into my Kentico website. So I can save and close. And as you can see, the image was directly embedded into the website. I can do, of course, the same also with video files. So just to give you some technical background, because some people asked me about that earlier, let's have a look into the Kentico backend. Here you can see now pages where I could do pretty much the same as I just did before. Here, if I go into media libraries, you would see then the different media libraries in sync with Picturepark. So that means we're handing over certain derivative formats and metadata into Kentico media libraries. And on the other hand, I can also have a look into the Picturepark connector, how this is set up. So it's quite sophisticated. As you can see, we have a user group mapping in here. That means every time somebody's calling up the Picturepark Asset Connector, there is also an authentication to the user groups in Picturepark. So that means you can be sure that people can only access the relevant content. Then we have some general settings in here, like the service user and so on. And then the metadata fields, which I would like to hand over. These are all the fields directly from Picturepark. So in this case, we're just mapping over the asset name, the description, source. Of course, I could map over much more, also like the alt text and so on. And then we have here a container mapping, and this is specifically for the media libraries. So I have in here my Kentico media libraries, which I set up already in the media library section. And then I could just select one of those and can specify sync with Picturepark, select a certain container. If I click that, a little browser will open up into Picturepark, and then you see all my Picturepark containers. I could just select one, also select, for example, which derivative I want to synchronize over, like, for example, internet format, office format, so not the high-res data. Same for audio, same for video. And if I click save, it will instantly start with the sync process. In the file metadata section, I can once more also have a look into the metadata of the individual files. So there's, in this case, they have some files in here. So you would see then different metadata coming from Picturepark. In general, the connector is pretty easy to set up. It takes usually between half a day and a day just to set it up and to configure everything. And then you can already start using the Kentico connector. You can place videos, embed them. You can link to assets within Picturepark. Yeah, and enjoy the connector. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact sales@picturepark.com. We look forward to your questions.